Hi, hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are. So today I want to talk about the major news in crypto that China is considering to ban all crypto mining activity in China. So it was reported first in Reuters in just a few hours ago from the time of reporting on April 9, 2019 that China's National Development and Reform Commission has actually put out a list of 450 activities that it plans to either eliminate or reduce or ban altogether, and Bitcoin mining is one of them that it is considering to eliminate altogether. It doesn't say how it plans to do that or what's the timeline, but so it looks like it will be immediate. But for now, they are putting this proposal for public feedback. The public has a chance to give feedback and comment until May 7th. So basically, it's about 1 month time period for the public to give their views on what they want to do, and then the government will just decide on whether they will they will actually ban crypto mining in China or not. Now, this news, especially the title where a lot of the media has actually put China is banning, or even Reuters, this particular title says China says it wants to eliminate Bitcoin mining. Now, the title in most of the articles that I have seen, right, itself, it is already meant to scare you. A lot of the titles already is showing, is almost saying it is an eventuality rather than, and if you read the article in full, you will realize that actually this is a proposal that they are thinking of, that they will not decide until May 7th. But the title itself, honestly, is very, very misleading, and you can check that itself across many of the other, even the crypto-centric news media as well. They are all similarly, and in my opinion, this kind of title is very misleading because it actually creates fear, uncertainty, and doubt, right? Or in short, FUD, F-U-D. Because with title like this, it is almost saying it's a certain thing rather than, they are only considering now and they haven't decided yet. They will decide after May 7th. Now, but in the worst case, let's say if it's true that China is really going to ban crypto mining, right? Bitcoin mining, where currently China is definitely the major destination, a major country where mining take place simply because of the cheap electricity, right, supply, and the huge natural resources that they have. So a lot of the major mining operations actually take place in China, especially Xinjiang and Yunnan, those places where it's rather cold, right? Now, what will happen if actually, what's the worst case that if this is really true when it happens, then my opinion is clearly that, right, a lot of these operations will then move to other countries, and we do have other countries offering the same kind of cheap electricity sources as well. And in fact, this is not the first time that China has already said that they want to stop crypto mining in China. In January 2018 also, there was a leaked report that basically said that the government wants to stop crypto mining in China, and that has actually led to a few of the operations, right, already diversifying their operations. So Bitmain also has operations already, crypto mining operations in US and Canada, just because of that incident. And also remember, in September 2017, the Chinese government has actually came out in the news, right, where it made a huge backlash on the industry by clamping down hard, right, on ICOs in China and shutting down all the local crypto exchanges in China. But so straight away, the prices of crypto reacted. At that time, it dropped from about 5,001 Bitcoin to 3,300 level. And then after that, of course, as you know what happened after that, because of the catalyst of the Bitcoin futures, and then it basically rose up, right? Continued to rise up to almost 20,000 peak in end of 2017 or January 2018. That was the kind of incident that has happened in the past, right? So are we looking at a similar occurrence like this now? I'm not sure, but definitely what I'm saying is that, right, this particular news, although seemingly on the surface it is very, very, very negative, and a lot of people will be basically very scared because they see this kind of news, because especially if they do not fully understand what is cryptocurrency and what is the use case of cryptocurrencies, they will be really scared. And I see this, right? Or rather, no, I want to pose a question to you, right? Do you think this is again, could it be that this is again one of those news that meant to scare people off, meant to shake out more the weak hands in crypto? I don't know, right? That's just a question to you. But it is possible, in my opinion, not financial advice, right? So again, and what is the upside though, right? In everything that happened, there was always a pros and cons. Now, if there is anything good about this news, was that it just means that it pushes out the mining operations of crypto to more more diversified geographically, and that is actually better because it helps with decentralization of the production of Bitcoin, and that is actually a good news in the case of crypto. Now, how has the market reacted? At the point of recording, basically the market seems to have reacted quite negatively initially because it was reported about 12:30. So the price of Bitcoin is actually retraced from 5,000 to it's actually just a bit of retracement only, and then now in fact it has been back to where it was. It will be interesting to see over the next few days what happens, and of course March 7th, or rather immediately after that, it will be quite interesting to see what happens after that date, right? To see if they really were to ban crypto mining, what will happen to the price. I think definitely then it will actually have a dip in pricing, but I think if other catalysts like BACT or ErisX, Nasdaq, start to offer cryptocurrency exchange, and of course, if BACT start to make it very, very easy for retailers like Starbucks to accept cryptocurrencies, then I think those are definitely the huge catalysts. And who knows what else is going to come, right? If we have another major pension funds investing in crypto, then again that may be the huge catalyst in the future. But no one really knows what will happen in the future, right? Because there are also people there are one China billionaire, Zhao Dong, who predicted that this year the price of Bitcoin will still be range bound between 4,000 and 6,000 level, and then only next year, before the halving event, before the reward halving event happened, only then the market will start going up again. So who knows really, but still, I mean, all this kind of negative news doesn't detract from the fundamental reason or fundamental benefits of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. So here is just a very clear demonstration of why we need Bitcoin and why there's still a lot of room for growth, because a lot of people who need it most are not even in it yet. So Octavia Costa, or Tavi Costa, is a Twitter user. He has actually tweeted just a few days ago that basically he highlighted that private pension funds recorded their second largest percentage loss since 1950s, in Q4 of 2018. And if you can just look at this chart, basically the white bar are the quarter-on-quarter change in the private pension fund assets. That means how much of their assets, AUM, how much has it gone down or gone up quarter on quarter. And the yellow line is the S&P 500 indexes. This basically is just how the equity market has been doing, right? And there are two dips in, of course, 2008 was the big global financial crisis, and recently it has a very, a relatively small dip versus that. And look at what happens to the private pension fund asset movement. It has actually dipped, more than 5% down, and that is the largest quarterly change since 1950, and that is huge. That also just means that these pension funds, most of them are very, very heavily invested in equities, and in any case where equities take a big hit, right, especially a lot of people are predicting the incoming or the upcoming financial meltdown again, where the equity will definitely take a hit. But then basically then all these private pension funds will have a problem, because then with such big drops in their asset value, then what will happen is that they will have very, very high difficulty in meeting their liabilities. That means in paying out to the pensioners. And as we know, with the rapidly aging society, especially in developed countries, the people contributing, right, is always slower than the people drawing out of their pension. So that definitely there's even a higher need for pension funds to, make sure that they are stable. They cannot be losing money. And this is exactly the problem here. And, and this is exactly what the opposite here in the reality. They are actually losing money, and this has happened much more frequent now in the last 10 years compared to very, very early on, right? Now, so this is a big argument, right? And this is actually the argument that Anthony Pompliano or Morgan Creek Digital has actually convinced the US first pension fund to invest a bit of their money, I think it was just about 1% of their money, into crypto. So why is that, or how do they convince them? Two reasons. One is that crypto is a highly, non-correlated asset with all your traditional assets that you have in your book. That means when you have a non-correlated asset in your portfolio, even a small percentage only, right, it has the benefit to actually make sure it protects your returns. That means if equity were to go down, bonds were to go down drastically in the next 5 years or 10 years, right, then crypto as a class can actually protect your overall portfolio performance, and given it is such, it has so much long-term potential, it has actually the benefit of uplifting the whole portfolio. So one is this uncorrelated nature with traditional assets, and second is that it's very asymmetric risk reward nature, right? Because you can just invest a very, very small amount, and in this case it's really just 1% of the funds. They could potentially, right, 50x or 100x that small investment, and then it can balance off a lot of the negative returns that they will expect to gain from the traditional assets. It's basically what they have convinced them to invest in crypto. Now, so far it is only one pension fund, right? Fairfax County in Virginia, they have invested, and they have up to, their fund can invest up to 15% of the amount directly into crypto. But currently they are first investing in crypto related companies to ease them, right, to the idea of investing in crypto. But eventually, I'm sure it will happen that they will eventually directly invest into crypto. Now, with that one pension fund, others will follow. It's just that when, right? Currently, the second pension fund hasn't yet invested, but we already have seen a lot of university endowment like Yale, like Stanford, a lot of the Ivy League endowment funds already invested in crypto as well. So that ought to tell you again, right? So, but of course, big news like this where they talk about the China banning or China wanting to ban crypto mining, although it is just a consideration at this point, they didn't say all these other positive news or positive development recently, right, that basically will have the balancing effect on the readers, but they didn't say all this, right? So I would like to take this opportunity to really, really bring out this point, right, to just balance up the news. Also, right, in December 2018, Morgan Creek, again, the firm that actually convinced the first pension fund to invest in crypto, they actually have an index fund of crypto. They basically took the top 10 largest cryptocurrency by market cap, and they have, basically allow investors to invest with them, right? That it basically is a very easy investment that you don't have to, it's almost like unit trust, but to invest in these funds, of course, is not available to anyone, but it's available to people who have, accredited investors. So basically, people who have more money, and they have basically offer a bet. They've wager that, and the bet is $1 million. That their position is that cryptocurrency can beat, or it will outperform, or their fund, right? They are basically their fund of just the top 10 crypto will outperform the S&P 500 index over the next 10 years. And the bet period is starting from January 1st, 2019 till end December 2029, right? That's basically the bet. And the thing is that no one so far has taken the other side of the bet. That means, right, that means although there are so many people bad-mouthing crypto, Bitcoin, right, being a scam, it is not a real investment, it's just pure speculation, it will go to zero and so forth, right? no one has actually been willing to put up the $1 million to take the other side of the bet. If you take the other side of the bet, that means you believe the equity market will outperform the crypto over the next 10 years. And if so many people who are so against crypto, why aren't they willing to take the bet? And honestly, $1 million is affordable to many, many rich people, including, right, the very rich, the richest people in the world today, Warren Buffett, right? Because he has consistently talked bad about crypto. But my position is that I think he just don't fully understand. Plus, I think he has invested in too many portfolio, right? That it is not in their interest to, support crypto. So he has a lot of investments in banks, right? Including the Bank of America and also the Wells Fargo. So all these banks, basically do not benefit if crypto were to be such a strong medium of exchange or store of value in the future, right? So that's why no one to date has taken this bet, yeah? And the other news is this is on Ripple, but just that's very interesting to round it up with is that Tata Consultancy Services are adopting Ripple technology. So as you know, Ripple or XRP coin is the number 3 largest cryptocurrency, and now, right, that they have always found use cases, and Tata Consultancy, which is the part of Tata Group, which is a huge conglomerate in India, right? Their clients include Citibank, General Electric, and Microsoft, among others. They are now also adopting Ripple technology to move their funds globally instantaneously and at very, very low fees, right? So yes, that just ought to tell you again the benefit of crypto, right? Just as another example. So I just want to end it with, right, don't just read the news as it is, right? And don't trust the headline as it is, right? Because you really have to read the article to fully understand the implication, right? Because a lot of the news really, they have to put such a scary title out there to make sure you click, right? And because the more you click in, basically then they will gain from the advertisement revenue as well, right? So yeah, I mean, we really have to think for ourselves, right? And put everything in perspective. So don't just listen to people, right? Do your own research is really what we should do. And yes, especially when prices are increasing now, right? You have a lot of people now still trying to press the prices down, is what I think, right? Yeah, so already I've said, if in the worst case that is really true, if China really were to ban crypto mining, it is still not the end of the world, right? In fact, it would just lead to the mining operations moving out of the country to elsewhere. And we already have seen that happen, right? They have banned all the ICO, banned all the crypto exchanges, and all these exchanges have just moved out, and many of them have moved to Hong Kong or Singapore to set up their shops, right? And this is exactly just what will happen as well, I think, yeah? So when there's enough demand, for something that is really good, people will just find a way to get their hands on it. Even people in China, they have actually been able to get their hands on investment in crypto as well, right? It's just that when something is too good, people will want that. It's just fact of life, right? So yeah, that's what I have for today. Hope you're having a great day, and again, for my new subscribers, I truly appreciate your support and hope you're having a great day ahead. Thank you so much for your time.